We're live. We are live. Good morning. 10:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning on this beautiful, sunny, hot, and humid day on the day of June in the year of our Lord 2026. My, I don't know. I don't know. Where have they gone? Where have they all gone? Did the rapture take place? And where have so many disappeared to? It's like they've vanished. I'm going to talk about that in a moment here. Good morning, everybody. Going to get rain today. What's it like where you guys are? I know in the UP, is it hot and muggy? Christy's going up to the Upper Peninsula the end of June with her sister Tanya. They camp every summer. I wish I could think of the lake they go to, and I would have to get. I'm lazy. I would have to get up and go look at Christie's calendar. I don't feel like getting up, but it's up in the UP. When you leave me a comment, dear sister from the UP, I'll try to comment with the location. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I used to go, but I don't know. Ever since my recovery from my sepsis and septic shock and being on a ventilator, life support, and surviving all the colon cancer and anxiety hit me. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and depression a little bit, and what they call medical PTSD. I became claustrophobic in a tent, and I still kind of feel closed in, boxed in, like I'm in this plastic and I can't get out and I can't breathe. So that's probably from the trauma that I must have faced. Oh, November 9th. What did I say? 6th? I did, huh? I'm dyslexic this morning. Did I say did I say 6th? I meant 9th. 9th. I'm losing time somewhere. I must be looking at my computer through like this mirror. Everything's backwards. So if I said the wrong date, I apologize. So bear with me. So ever since then, my recovery from being on the brink of death, I looked death in the face, and no one can tell me that there is no God. I posted this on social media yesterday that what I had went through was my life was actually over. I don't know what you said. This guy here. Okay, I'm telling you that the rapture is happening on November 9th. Oh, November 9th. I'm so sorry. Boy, I need more coffee. I need more coffee. I just need a lot more coffee. Are you sure the rapture hasn't taken place already? We're going to talk about that. Behind. I don't think so. I think I know what's happening with me, wondering if these people that I love that have just disappeared out of my life. But that's the devil doing that. So we're going to talk about Lucifer, Lucerio. We're going to talk about Lucifer in a minute here. And I asked for prayer for a dear sister, Pia, who's having, her daughter is having some type of supernatural experience in her apartment. So please pray. In the name of Jesus, where two or more are gathered, there he is in amongst us in prayer. That whatever this is gone in the name of Jesus. I kind of helped her a little bit with what to do when there might be negative energy in a home or in a room. So hopefully, from what I understand, the light has overcome the darkness in this case. But I have what I'm and it's on my diagnosis, the claustrophobia. So where did this come from? I never had that before that I can remember. I grew up in the city, so or if you know where Detroit is and downriver, River Rouge, Ecorse, Wyandotte, Michigan, named after the Wyandotte Indian, that's where I grew up. And as far up north as we ever went, we would go to a park, a state park called Kensington Park. And to us, that was up north. And I'm so far north now that Kensington Park is way, way south. And we didn't do a lot of camping. We put a tent up in our yard when we were kids, and I remember camping in the yard in a pup tent. We all wanted to be army men and everything else, and or teenagers. We wanted to have not a barbecue. What do you call it? Roasted marshmallows and camp out. And I never had a problem. But when I got married and moved up here, first to Walled Lake, Commerce Township, I'm used to talking to my neighbor across the fence, across the alley, and we would wheel our garbage cans out to the alley. And I remember there was a gentleman that lived across when I was a young man, a teenager, and he loved fishing. He had a boat, and he always wanted to take me on the boat, and we would converse over the fence. Then there was a Native American elderly woman, and we didn't know. We just called her the Indian, and she would always smile and walk down the alley. She lived a few houses down, and we had sidewalks. And when I met Christy and came up here, it was a whole nother experience for me, a whole nother world. I couldn't drive. I couldn't see. There you are. Good morning. Was hot yesterday, fog this morning, cooler. Yeah. Lake Superior is still cold. Oh, is it really? I don't do the swimming thing anymore. I'll explain that. And as you know, I had the colon surgery and the multiple abdominal surgeries. And I ended up with a permanent colostomy. So I just don't do the getting in the water thing. I take showers and at home, but as far as swimming in the lake, I don't know. I think them days are over for me. But growing up in the city, Taco Fall, is different than growing up in the UP or here, as far north from Kensington Park as I am. We had sidewalks, we had alleys, we wheeled our garbage cans to the alley. When I met Christy and moved to Walled Lake, um, Houston, we've got a problem. My wife was, well, fiance first, but Christy would wheel the garbage to the front. And there's no alleys. I said, well, garbage goes out to the front, to the curb? I've never heard of such a thing. And mailmen don't walk the route. Now, mailmen in Detroit and the suburbs, they park their little mail Jeep. Yeah, God, it's country day. Oh, yeah. Mailmen in the city, they park their little mail Jeep and they walk for miles and miles and miles. They got their spray because the dogs are trying to bite them and attack them. So, but we lived off of a dirt road in Walled Lake, Commerce Township, and the mail people drive in their Jeep and they reach out, they stick the mail in the box, and they don't walk. They don't get exercise. So then they drive up to the next house and they stick their arm out and put the mail in the box. Mailmen and mailwomen don't walk up north. They don't walk. I love where you are up in the UP. There's some mailboxes because of the snow way up high on a tree. Because the snow is so high, they get up and they put the mail in the box. But I was flabbergasted. I'm like, there's no sidewalks. And what really hit me was at night, there's no streetlights. It is dark. It is black. It is pitch black. And it took me forever. I could not drive. I'm nearsighted, so I wear glasses, as you know. But I could not see to drive. I was having panic attacks because I could not see. I thought I was going to run up curbs and stuff. And we got critters in the city, like Detroit, you know, rats in Detroit, cockroaches in Detroit, not in the downriver area so much. But I went, where was I at? And it was crossing the road, and Christy's cracking up because I'm terrified. I see the biggest rat I've ever seen in my life, and it wasn't brown. It wasn't great. It was humongous. It looked like the size of a small dog, but it was white and it had the long rat tail. And I said, "That's the biggest rat I've ever seen." And she's cracking up. It was a, it was an opossum. I had never seen one before. I don't know what the heck is this rat. It's an opossum. So then we got deer in our yard. We got deer in our backyard here. Never seen deer in Detroit. Oh my gosh, I've never seen deer in River Rouge. No one ever sighted a deer. I used to work in Monroe. That's way south. Now we would see deer when I'd go to the old Precision Tune auto care back. I worked at Precision Tune as a manager, and I would drive to Monroe, but I would see deer. That's what you call motor route. I remember when the mailman used to carry in their bag those big Sears and Montgomery Ward books. Yeah, and don't forget your green stamps. Don't forget the green stamps. But anyway, I don't know if that led to the camping thing, the darkness. It was so dark that I got claustrophobia. I got claustrophobic. But a lot of things happened after recovery. Before, and this is why I asked, did the rapture take place? And Lucero, Takaful, are we the only ones left? And um, Heidi, I don't know where Heidi is, and brother Rob Estrada is still around. But before I got sick, we were going strong with the homeless ministry with filming and cameras in everybody's face. And we had a large following. You know, the views were like enormous views on a video or a live stream. I remember going to Waves of Glory in Tennessee, and we recorded live preaching from Tennessee. And there's so many people in the chat. And remember the old days of before I got sick. I was sick, but I didn't know it. I was in denial, and I wasn't not a river in Egypt. I was in denial, but I was sick. I knew I was, but I kept my mouth shut. I didn't even tell Christy there's something wrong. I think she kind of knew, but I had followers upon followers, people giving to our ministry, people checking on me. I was not supposed to end up with multiple um, abdominal surgeries, what they call resections. I was not supposed to end up. I was not supposed to have an ostomy bag at all. I was supposed to go in, get this tumor removed, and it was the end of June this month, 5 years ago. Oh my goodness! It was the end of June. I was supposed to be home eating ice cream by before the 4th of July. I went in the end of June, and I woke up months later, the end of summer, and I was in a coma and everything else. Before I went into that house, followers following me. I do a if I would get 930 views on a video, I would say, wow, people are just not interested anymore. 900 views only. I didn't hit 8,000. I would be upset. At 500 views, I would be. What did I do wrong? What did I say to them? I go into the hospital with millions of viewers, and everyone giving to supporting Trumpet of God Ministries. Just got back from doing the Waves of Glory live in Tennessee with the Reverend Alan Tackett, live on TNN or whatever it was. I end up with getting sick in the fall of 2019, right around Halloween, October. I became really bad. So I was still doing the ministry out in the cold, but I knew something was wrong. But still, up until the day I went into, did I die in that hospital? And is this the afterlife? Because when I went in on the end of June, that hospital alone with Jesus saved my life, actually, but I was not supposed to end up in septic shock. This was not a teaching hospital, it's a trauma center. And McLaren Flint, I went in for to have the cancer removed and to take out the lymph node, sure it didn't metastasize, and where a polyp had turned into cancer. Everybody on YouTube, I'll be back. And I had just did the eulogy for Christy's nephew a few months prior to me going in the hospital, who died of sepsis. That famous race car driver just recently died of what I had. And I had the most severe case of sepsis. That's why I'm here talking to you as a miracle. Anyone to say that there is no God is a fool. Because yes, we got modern medicine in the hands of the surgeon. Yeah, but this was a God moment, a God thing. I think the devil wanted me gone. He wanted to kill me because the doctor is the well-known colorectal surgeon in Michigan. He is a teacher. He teaches at U of M. So he's got a crew of young doctors, interns that he teaches. So I was an experiment, I guess. He allowed them. They they goofed, and that's all there is to it. He's a grade A surgeon, but one of his pupils that stapled me up inside misstepped somewhere, and I was in recovery. I don't remember even being in the recovery room. I don't have no recollection of waking up until I woke up with a hole in my throat, uh, with a tube sticking out. I was already off the ventilator the time I woke up. I don't remember being on a life support. Um, Christy came to see me in recovery. She said, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. His fingers are swelling. And she told the nurse, his fingers look like the size of sausages. There's something not right. And as the time went on, she says that I was talking incoherently. I didn't know what I was saying. I was saying ridiculous things. And she said, to the nurse, she said, we just buried my nephew and he died of septic shock. And he's got all the symptoms. And she said, no, he just had, it's too early for that. It's normal for swelling and it's the anesthesia wearing off. She said, no, I don't think so. So as days go, she went home that night because they told her I was fine. She gets a call to get back to the hospital. I'm in full cardiac arrest. My heart stopped. It went into AFib and it went so fast that it stopped, and they had to put the paddles on me. So they had to get permission. And she said, of course, do whatever you have to do. And they said she got to the hospital as quick as she could, and they said he's in full septic shock. Because she said, I told the nurse, and she wouldn't believe me. I seen the same symptoms with my nephew. And they told her then we don't think he's going to make it. There's always hope, but he's too far gone. We got the ventilator breathing for him, but the sepsis took over his lungs. He's in double pneumonia. And it's taken his kidneys. So we put pressures on him and pulling the blood out of his extremities, out of his legs, to go back into the organs, because the sepsis takes over your organs. And that's what, no, it wasn't my time. That's what killed the race car driver. So anyway, I woke up and I had a fight, and I fought to live, and I did. But I remember the physical therapy before I could even be discharged. I couldn't walk. I had to learn to walk. I couldn't talk to anyone because I had this. So I had a whiteboard, and I remember writing on the whiteboard to my son, and because I couldn't speak and nothing would come out. I remember being in the hospital, being ornery, having this tube in my throat, and they would come by and I couldn't have anything to drink. They would put this little sponge in my mouth. And me being the stubborn old bull that I am, I ripped the tube out of my throat, and they come running, and no, 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 you got to stop that, and wanting to tie my hands down and restrain me. So only a fool says there is no God, because I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I had to learn to talk again. I had to learn to walk. My legs felt like I had tons of, because the muscles were, everything was gone. They said, we can't understand how you didn't lose your feet, or we didn't have to amputate your legs, because with that bad sepsis and the pressors, there's no blood flow to your extremities, because we have to put the blood to your organs. You didn't lose your fingers, and they swelled like sausages. You didn't lose them. You didn't lose your feet. But I have the neuropathy afterwards. But I couldn't climb up this, because we live in a bi-level house. I couldn't come up the stairs. It was like I had 1,000-pound weights on my legs, my ankles. I couldn't lift my legs up. To here I am, 5 years. Praise the Lord. I'm dancing with my wife and my Stephanie. I'm doing country line dancing. When they told me first he isn't going to live, he's really gone, and but we will disconnect the life support to dancing, and only God can do that. No one else can do that. But when I woke up and when I recovered and got back onto YouTube, everybody was gone. All the ones that loved me and supported me, and little by little, they would one by one fall to the wayside until we're 800 views, and me being just discouraged because I only got 800 views on this video, and it wasn't that I would go after other YouTubers that I thought were not doing the way they should, you know. Um, uh, I got somebody texting me for Flint, Michigan. I'll be there as soon as I can. I don't bring my phone in here. It comes on my Apple Watch. I got a smartwatch in case I fall. It calls 911. But everyone's gone, and 500 views to a video, I would like, oh my gosh, what did I do? To nothing. This is going to show 3 people watch this live stream. One by one, people started. Linda Diane's gone. Lisa's gone. Final straw for me was just so many had gone and disappeared. We got Fumiko that used to love to watch Pastor Dave, and her daughter gone. And then Diane Blue. Did they all get raptured, or did I do something wrong? Do you think if you watch me on YouTube, you're going to catch cancer? It's not contagious. I don't have any explanation. I don't know, except the enemy. I don't know. I do what I can do, and I do the best that I know how, and I try to be a good person. But people are wondering why you're not been on YouTube much anymore. I'm about to give it up. I'm just, I don't know. I don't think nobody really cares about Pastor Dave anymore. It's like maybe my time has come, and it's time to just pull this channel down because I got you guys, I got Takaful, and everybody else is just kind of, it hurts. It hurts. But I racked my brain of what did I do? You got people that will talk and whisper and chatter behind your back, and they'll go and chatter to another one. But I've always had that. I've had that since the time of tiny chat, and I would always have one person whispering and saying something. So it's not that. It's people with the gossipy gossip, and we get up in years and we get to be an elderly woman, and we'll call and we'll text another one, and Pastor Dave is doing this, and yeah. I've dealt with that when I had dark hair. I didn't have to dye, and I was skinny, and I was living in the trailer park in Holly and sitting on the end of the bed and making my videos. Dave here, remember that going way back, and the old wear a suit jacket, um, and I've always went after Paul Bagel. I've always went after other people that I thought were deceiving the flock. So it can't be any of that. It must be either you've all been raptured, and me and Takaful, the few that are left here behind, or people just don't care about me anymore, and they don't care about the homeless anymore. And I don't know. Maybe YouTube has seen us glory days. Glory days, they'll pass you by. Glory days in the blink of a young man's eye. Glory days, glory days. It wasn't my time yet, but maybe it's my time now to bid you all a farewell. I've got to pray about it. I talked to my doctor. I try to get a few things out of my chest. He says, you meet the criteria perfectly for a support animal because I've been diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I think it's under control. And medical PTSD from waking up where they thought I was still out, which I was, but I could hear, and then I could hear the doctors talking. I could hear them telling me, this is, we don't know what to tell his wife. He's a dead man. He's not here anymore. It's not him. And I'm thinking, I am here. I can hear you. And I remember these nurses' age rather, because nobody turned me, and I had a pressure ulcer on my tailbone the size that put a softball through because no one rolled me over. And I remember screaming in excruciating pain as they would try to roll me over on my side. And I remember this one African American, they were three or four of them, and nurses' aides, and the one saying, "This poor old guy." We read the chart. We talked to the nurse, and she said he's not here. He's not going to make it. She said he's suffering. I ought to put this pillow over his face and put him out of his misery. And I hear all of this. I'm going to die. Pastor Dave is going to die, and she should put a pillow over my face and suffocate me to put me out of my misery. And I'm thinking, I'm fighting. I don't want to die. I fought my whole life. I don't want to die. So that gave me what the veterans get that have been in like Vietnam and seen terrible things, what they call medical PTSD. So I have that, and I guess I qualify for a service animal, but the doctor doesn't know that I had Chloe, and she was my service animal because she was there through my whole recovery. She was there, never left my side, and then when she passed away, I wanted to get a puppy, but everybody told me, no, it's not the time. I don't know. It's like the whole world. When you're down, when your heart's broke, the whole world will smack you across the face. You know what I mean? I feel like all of YouTube, except for you guys, have just smacked me right across the face. How dare you live? How dare you want a puppy? You know, my own family. How dare you think you deserve a puppy? You know, so I like to get, I used to love YouTube. I could get everything off my chest, but nobody watches anymore because so many have just smacked me real hard on the TV anymore. So, but I love you guys. I'm going to try to think of where Christy's going camping abroad. I don't camp anymore. I just don't like the tent. I feel the plastic, the night sky, and I can't breathe. Maybe that's from being in the hospital for so long. That's what the doctors seem to think. You know, you've been hospitalized for so many times that you feel trapped. And that's probably it. It's probably psychological. But I'll try to let you know she's going up in your neighborhood somewhere. Wherever she went last year, I think we talked about it. But I love you guys. I don't know if I'll be back or not. I got to pray about it. And pray for those on the street that, boy, have Flint, Michigan, and Genesee County, and Burton, Michigan, and Grand Blanc cracked down on the homeless. They bulldoze now the camps on Center Road and um, I 96, 696 there to Port Huron. They bulldoze. There was one behind the what is that? Not a Costco. I can't think of the name of that little grocery store. That and I have nothing coming in. I can't help them anymore. I can't even help myself. But I love you guys, and Christy's asked if I'm okay. I'll be okay. I survived. I beat the odds. I beat the devil, and this is his payback. Having my viewers that I love just lead me to the wayside. So maybe it's time I lead. I don't know. I love you guys. I'll I need to pray about a lot of things. God bless you.